Hello, this is All Your Base Kris, doing you a video review of one of my favourite games from when I was a wee nipper. This one is possibly the goriest, most unpleasant game. It was my delight to play. A little game called Moonstone, created by Mr. Anderson. Now if you're not familiar with this game, a little bit of the plot. You play a big scary knight, and you're tasked with, well, actually never mind that, because here is the intro to the game, which will explain everything. Spooky. First of all, I'd also like to apologise for the fairly low res of this video, and the bad jerkiness. It's just, I've been using an emulator to play this, which is, you know, can be a bit of a mission. The intro. The Druids. No one knows where they were from or what they were doing. For those of you who don't know much about Moonstone, this was released way back in the mid-90s for the Amiga. It came on 3 floppy disks. Do you remember them, kids? 3 floppy disks? Wow. That's before these newfangled CD malarkey. Of course, disc 1 is just this intro. It's building tension, you know. Oh, also, with this being emulated, you'll notice the sound occasionally goes to a slightly different frequency for odd reasons. The Druids sent their best knights to Stonehenge so they might be dubbed into the quest for the Moonstone. So I know what you're thinking. So what? You don't care. You're just thinking, well, what's this stupid, pointless Amiga game? We've moved on. The world has moved on. We don't play these kind of crappy games anymore. Well, yes, you are correct, to a certain degree, but there's something very, very special about this particular game. Also, you'll notice I'm loading it in real time, and I'm swapping discs, which means I press F12 and then select the correct disc to put in, which, you know, is very exciting. So, Moonstone. A hard day's night. See? Delightful pun. Oh, also, this was a multiplayer game. It was a turn-based multiplayer game, except when you both occupied the same space on the game world, in which case it became a 2-player versus game, which was an interesting way of getting around it. So here we go then. Gameplay. Players 1, gore, on of course, and select my knight. Now the knights you select depended, that gives you a different starting position. I think I'm going to go for the yellow knight. Yes, yellow, definitely. Sir Richard. Of course you can always rename your knight. Try and think of something amusing. I was going to go for Richard III there, but unfortunately I ran out of letters. So, Sir Tane, no, can't spell, I'm a tard. Sir Tane Lee. Sir, no, not enough letters, so certainly. Ha! Certainly, you see. I hate myself sometimes. Okay, so here is the world map. As you can see, I am the little glowing yellow knight. I move around the game map, selecting layers which I want to pillage, inserting discs as I go, or I can enter villages and collect potions and crap. Now, as this is only a very short 10-minute odd long video, I'm probably going to skip most of the village parts. You can also do gambling and stuff, but I'm more interested in fighting the different kinds of monsters which occupy the layers. This one, I imagine, is the Minotaur. No, he's a bastard. I will attack you with my big sword like such. No, come here. No, stay still. Ah, I'm having trouble doing the different moves. Ah, that's because I'm trying to use the keyboard as opposed to joystick. Can't take much more of this. Go on, have it. Oh. And I'm dead. Right. Did I mention that I'm really bad at games? Okay. So, I have lost a life. and I've also ended the turn. So now you'll notice that there are other knights on the map as well, the dark knights, the black knights, and they tend to wander around the maps doing basically the same that you're doing. The basic plot is you have to go around the map, go to as many layers as possible, and hope that you find a part of the Moonstone. When you've got all the parts of the Moonstone, you can go to the centre, which is like a kind of Stonehenge monarchy, and you have to fight a god basically, and then you get zapped. Okay, so next day I've gone to the town, nothing's there, can't do bugger all. End of turn. Black Knight running around. The towers are wizards' towers where you can ask for help. You can buy knives, which you can throw, which unfortunately I can't do on my keyboard configuration, which is probably a bad thing. So, let's go find myself another layer. I've gone to the Minotaur, got pasted, so let's go with this one. Hopefully, it'll be something better. Oh, insert disc B. I'd like to give a shout out to Monkey Island 2, if we're talking about disc-based games, which had the grand total of, I believe, 11 discs, which you had to change periodically, all the time. It was class. There. Yeah. A little emulation stutter in there. I'm just using the WinUEA output, actually, which outputs as an Xvid file, which I've then stuck into Vegas Pro to put this spoken overlay on top of. There we go, have it! Splash. These are the Ratmen, which should be a good name for a post-70s prog rock group, I think. Ah, no. And I'm dead again. Okay, right. You see a lot of this, because the game is slightly tricky in places as well. When you're 14, you don't tend to play this game for the in-depth plot or the mechanics. You play it because you giggle every time somebody gets killed horribly. And you do get killed horribly. The next day. Also, you'll notice that the moon changes phases as you go along. You have to be careful. Sometimes when you go up against certain enemies, they're stronger depending on the phase of the moon. Controls are pretty simple. Up, down, left, right. Hold down fire and move to a different direction to do certain things. Firing up does an overhead slash, which I'll demonstrate shortly. Firing left and right cuts them in half, which is the best move for fighting the Ratmen. As you can chop them in half, just like that. Oh, overhead slash fail. Right, okay. Attack, attack, dead. Animation's not bad, when you consider that, you know, the average capacity for fitness was 1.5 megs, pretty much. So, all the animation has been put in. I managed to win that one, of course, and I get the stunning total of 38 gold. Hooray for me. Okie dokie. I think I've got time for just one more monstrosity before I sign off on this gameplay video. I like Moonstone. It's probably not the most sophisticated game ever released, but it did try and do something a bit different. And believe it or not, this game was released without the papers jumping on it, without anybody saying, that's disgusting, won't somebody please think of the children? And that's because when I was younger, I was lucky in the fact that no one gave two shits about this sort of thing. Okay, here we go then. Aha! Ah. Yeah, I'm really bad at this game, so I'm going to sign off. For Retro Sluts, this is Captain Thespian. Thanks a lot.